my good sis.
Period. Yes, sis, look at that smile. So if you want to know how to make and construct your wig as well as install it like a frontal, stay tuned. Starting on my 22-inch canvas head, I am going in with a breathable dome cap. Breathable because you don't want their head to be suffocating under it. And I just make sure that the V's are facing forward. And I also make sure that when I place my frontal, it is at least 1 inch above the start of the wig cap. This is very important because that helps for a more natural looking install. It helps your closure to look like a frontal. So that is number one. Make sure that your closure is at least 1 inch or half of an inch in front of the wig cap before you sew it down. So then I go in and I make sure that the frontal is laying flat against the canvas head, and I secure it with Tpins, and then I go in and I begin to sew it down. To sew it down, I only sew on the outside tabs. I don't go poking in the middle of the nails, none of that like that. I only use the tabs, and I also lock, and I don't use big spaces in between. When you use big spaces in between your stitches, that helps make buckles and your frontal won't lay flat. So make sure that you go in not too far apart with your stitches and that you lock just to make sure that it's secure, because you will be cutting the net beneath it. And that's another reason why you make sure that the V is facing forward when you place the frontal or your closure on before you sew, because it's less of you cutting the seams of the cap and less of a chance of, the cap falling apart. So then I just go in with a white eyeliner pencil. I do this because I like to make an outline of where I'm going to sew, and it's just a guideline to help me make sure that I keep equal spacings. Plus I like my wig caps to have stretch. You don't want them to be too tight to where they can't manage them, or you just want it to be able to stretch. It's a stretchable cap, and their hair should be able to breathe underneath it. So I start by doubling the wefts in the back. And my method for sewing my bundles on is, first of all, I start the first track at the very top of the band of the wig cap. So as you see, I started my first line right at the top, almost on the seam, but not exactly on the seam. And I always sew through the first layer of the cap. I never sew all the way through the band or the elastic. You don't want to do that, because then your wig won't be able to stretch. You won't be able to put it on and nothing like that. So you only sew through the very first layer of the cap. And I use this method throughout the entire wig cap. Even when I sew down my closure, I only sew through the top layer of that band. I don't go through the actual band or the elastic. I don't go all the way through the cap. Only time I go all the way through the cap is in the middle where the mesh is. That's it. And that's all you should be going through on the band is the mesh. You should literally kind of be able to see your needle going through that part still. And I just sew according to my guideline, and I make sure that I don't have my bundles looking bulky. You don't want it to be all bulky and living on top of each other. You don't want the tracks all laying on top of each other, because it will not lay flat. And the way that I lock on the ends is you make sure that it is laying extremely flat. You pull the lace in between the tracks, and then I sew the weft down to where I'm about to start laying the tracks next. I don't know how helpful that is, but that's the best I can explain it. So I left off here, and then I just go back in and I'm filling in the space with my last bundle. My last bundle, I usually single weft it and I cut it. So that just helps it to lay flat. And at this point, I go with the shape of the closure. This is to help frame the face and to hide that wig cap when you put it on. You don't want it to show. And this is how it should look. Like the track should be literally living right beneath the closure. That is how you go for a very flat looking install. And now I'm just going in and I'm styling it, I'm straightening it. I'm using the chase method in my Conair. I don't know exactly the name of the series, but I'll have it in the description box. But I know that the flat irons are titanium. And this is how the wig cap should look before you cut the fabric, and this is how it should look afterwards. You never want to cut past those threadings of the closure. And now I'm just going in and I'm plucking. My method to plucking is I start like halfway through the closure and I pluck. I never pluck in the same spot twice, and I move across that line and then I part. I never take more than 1/4 of an inch. You don't want to pluck on big sections. You don't want to pluck to where you can't see. I have a little tissue under there because I couldn't find a white towel, but you want to use something where you can see where you're plucking because you want it to look as natural as possible, but you don't want to over pluck, but you also don't want to under pluck. And this is the finished result. And now I've already braided her down as well as molded her baby hair and edges back. And I've already applied the glue, the same method as I used before. I apply my dots, make my layers, wait till they turn clear, and then I apply the lace. And once the lace is dry, I've applied the wig and melted it into the glue. I just go in with the eyebrow razor and I cut the lace. And now I'm just going in and I made my baby hairs. And this is the finished look.
Let me see them baby hairs.
Girl. Cause who?
Period.